Hey guys, I'm learning TFT and I'm sharing my learnings with you so that you can learn and I can learn better as well. In this video, I'm sharing a coaching session with Asa where we went through a bunch of endgame positioning where I finished second or third, and especially in the final matchup where I know with high confidence who I'm facing. We did a deep dive into optimal positioning to better try to gain those final placements and play for first. The big takeaways I had was trying to use the cubby more. C1 against Diana, against Yunara, making sure that you try to put your main tank right in front of her and nobody else in a straight line behind her. Um, Especially against Swain, isolating your main carry away from the rest of your team. One big thing that I kept on doing was I had melee carries that did not have a tank within one hex of them, especially in the middle, like Baron. Then if they had like a Kindred in their middle back row, they would just start focusing on my Baron at the start of the battle. And then for me to default my swing position in the middle, these are some of my big takeaways, but a lot of the nuance in each of these games we'll dive into in this coaching session. So I hope that this coaching session is helpful for you to think about how to better position your late game units. That should help you be able to get higher placements and win out more often. With that said, I hope you enjoy this video and this coaching session with Asa. I've been getting a bunch of like seconds and thirds in this patch, and I feel like I'm not. I think probably some combination of a lot of end game states I'm not positioning optimally, and then maybe I'm not capping the board properly. But I specifically
Yeah,
want to maybe go over end game positioning. So I figured we could maybe just jump through a bunch of my
definitely.
games and just go to like the last fight where I got knocked out and see
Okay.
how
I'll
to
also
think
just say
about that.
you also tend to go like second and third a lot if like you're not playing T-Hex that much as well,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is like
definitely.
probably
Um, and I think related to the endgame positioning is also like thought process behind how to do last second swaps and um yeah, like what your what your thought process is and how to
okay.
optimally do
Yeah, sounds
that.
good.
Okay. And then depending on how many games we go through of that, we could also maybe go through some TFT dojo puzzles if that sounds interesting to you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I saw you doing some of those with Broseph.
Yeah, I just did some with Marcel as well.
Okay, nice.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah. Just gonna jump to like last fight for each of these.
Okay.
Okay,
Why is there a
so
Malzahar in the front?
why is there what?
Malzahar in the front. I guess it doesn't really matter either way, but
Yeah, I just threw it in the front to. I mean, I feel like it wasn't gonna deal damage.
yeah, but
Um,
if you put it like bottom left with Kog'Maw, you can bait like his Fiddle 2 to jump down there, for example.
oh, I see. Okay. Take note.
Yeah, I agree that's not going to deal damage, but it's just like a resource you can have that you can take advantage of. Whereas if you're putting the front, it's basically doing nothing. Optimal positioning, I would want your Rift Herald on the far left because he only has one backliner carry. So his Yunara, if your Rift Herald is far left here, and then you move your Cho'Gath where Rift Herald is, his Yunara only hits one unit the entire fight.
Uh,
Obviously, like you mentioned, like last second positioning can happen,
mhm.
but that would be like ideal.
So let's say that I wanted to do that. How would you think about baiting him so that he does not move the Yanara like to the other side? So like
Um,
maybe start Rift on right side and then swap at the last second.
you could try to do that, yeah. I would say, yeah, it's risky doing that, right? Because if he swaps right side, then he can kill your Baron.
Yeah.
Let me think. I mean, I think Baron has enough lifesteal to like, whereas if it's getting like cleaved by Yunara, it's okay. So maybe as long as like your carries are behind your Rift Herald, it's fine. Because at the end of the day, most of your other units on this board are not super important. Volibear too, I guess you want to cast and live
Right.
as long as possible.
Okay, so the big thing is try to isolate Yanara to with my biggest tank.
Yeah. She's kind of like T-Hex where you want her to like attack straight down in a line and it hits least units.
Okay. Um, and then if I put the Rift Herald here, then I could just put the Baron like middle.
You could do Baron like far left if you did Rift Herald where like Cho'Gath is.
Rift Herald, or sorry, Baron far
Like
left.
B1, yeah. Like Rift Herald where Cho'Gath is, like Baron B1,
Oh,
Kaisa on that side as well, and then like all your other units on the other side.
wait, you're saying Rift Herald A1 and Baron B1?
Rift Herald could be A1 or A2. It doesn't really matter. Like if it's A1, it's gonna walk. If it's B1, that's gonna, or if it's A2, that's gonna stay there. Like if it's A1, it might just walk to A2 regardless. I guess that's what I'm
Right. But if Yarnar is firing down here, wouldn't we not want the Baron to be taking damage
I
from
think
Yanara?
that Baron getting cleaved by Yunara is not the biggest deal.
Does Baron
Because he has
generate
dodge
mana
anyway.
from getting attacked?
No, because he's not a tank.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. Ideally, you want as few units getting hit as possible. But I'm just saying, like, if you're worried about last second swap, right? Because I think like Baron getting cleaved is like
Not as
not
bad
ideal.
as him
But
swapping
if your
sides.
Baron ever dies before Rift Herald, then that's really bad.
Yeah. Okay. Um, okay, so that's like the big one. And then what about volley? I guess the main thing is just making sure that the Yanara is targeting the Rift Herald first before
Yeah,
these
this is
two.
kind of like the 50-50 thing we're talking about. I'm not really sure what the absolute best thing to do is. The only way to make sure that Yunar targets Rift Herald hit first is to solo frontline it, which doesn't really feel the greatest to me. Um, yeah, so I would probably try to do like the 50-50. But I mean, yeah, I would probably just try to do the 50-50, but have your carries on the same side as Rift Herald. So that way, like, at least Baron on the same side.
Same side like B1. A1 Rift Herald, B1 Baron.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
B1 or A2?
Well, the Rift Herald should be in A, and the Baron should be in. Baron could be A1, I guess, but Baron could be B.
Okay. If that would have made right. Okay, yeah, probably
Actually,
would
can we
have
just
made
like
it.
watch this fight?
Yeah.
So we can see like how many units the Shinar is hitting, and we can also see where the Fiddlesticks goes because I think it's actually more important that the Fiddlesticks doesn't go into like your largest clump
Little
also,
went here.
or
Yeah.
they're about like equally important.
Oh, it'll get two casts. And my Kaisa walked up.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely close.
Okay. But I think your point that if Rift Herald was in A1, this fight would probably have gone very differently.
Yeah.
And
Some other things. I want to make sure like
oh,
your first Kaiser target is the same target as Sunfire. I think it doesn't matter. I mean, the Skarner doesn't heal, but like
okay, yeah.
if it were a unit that heals, it'd be like kind of important. If it was like a Garen.
More generally, it's put Gary in here.
Yeah, but this is. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best solution is. Like the only way to guarantee Rift Hold first is solo frontline, but I don't think solo frontline is the greatest. Just because you clump your board too much for like Fiddle, Yunara, Senna.
If I knew
Um,
he was in position like this, I assume it's Rift Herald here and Baron like still in the middle because we don't want to take down this Wukong first, right? Like we want
I
to
would
take down
say
the
if you knew
shitters.
100% he was in a position like this, yeah, Rift Herald where Cho'Gath is, and then like Baron like on the right to like focus fire with Kaisa with Volibear, like have all three of your carries focus fire. But again, that's risky because of the last second Yunara on your side.
You're right. Okay. Game.
I guess one thing is if you felt like you're significantly stronger, you could probably do the solo Rift Herald thing to like just make sure like you reduce the variance.
Although this, like, I feel like that maybe could work if this was like a Bramble, but with a Declaw, I feel like this guy would still get taken down super fast.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then,
That's why I generally don't like solo frontline.
yeah, and on top of that, I believe this is leeching on Kaisa, in which case I might want some time for this to scale up so that like she can heal
Yeah, you want your
the
Rift Herald to live.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like doing solo frontline in general.
Um,
I'm just
first,
saying like if you're significantly stronger, where it's like you guaranteed win that way, then there's no need to take a 50-50.
right. I think it was Marcel that was saying he does not like putting set in front of your main carry because sometimes your backliner, like if this was Yunara itemized, would walk up, and I think I've seen that too. Do you know
Okay.
like what the specific logic is for that?
I don't actually know.
Okay. Um, as a general principle, does this formation look reasonable? I assume there's a Diana player.
Shyvana is. I feel like I should know this. Let me just double check. Shyvana is not a tank, so she doesn't get mana from getting hit because she's a fighter. So I don't
Yeah.
want my Shyvana to get hit at all because I want my tanks to generate mana while getting hit from getting hit. I want my Shyvana to like preserve her HP as much as possible because she's also like the highest damage unit out of the 4 units on your left.
Okay, so you'd rather put like Swain in middle
Um, yeah, I
or
think Swain in the
Swain on
middle is
side
better.
and
Yeah,
Wukong middle?
I like Swain in the middle. I think Swain in the middle can reach both corners if they're not like positioning around it.
Okay. I usually just default Wukong outside, so that way they're forced to at least deal with double Wukong or set.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, so then if
I
I'm
do think
gonna,
our tank item should be on Wukong on this board.
yeah, I agree. I just ran out of removers. I think I hit Shyvana 2 before I hit like this, either of these two stars, I think.
Yeah.
Um, if I am going to put Shyvana here, and there's I forget actually if this, I should know. Okay, yeah, it is a Diana player. Um, if we prefer Shyvana here, then we want our main carry here, right? Uh, but then Diana
Well,
can hit us.
yeah, we always. I mean, ideally, your main carry is never hit by Diana first. But obviously, there's always like different mix-ups you can do on both sides. I might just do like in the cubby if you're doing left side. I generally like the default anti-Diana with center and the right. Obviously, I mean, I saw you like use anti-anti positioning in the plus tournament last set with a Kali, so people can do that. But I think it's generally pretty safe.
Okay. Um, so you want one unit here and then one in the cubby, main carry cubby.
Yeah, you don't even need a unit behind it. I think it's like fine to have a unit behind it, but I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
you need it.
Okay. Then Marcel was also saying he doesn't like a unit in D3 here because then the Diana that jumps here can jump onto this unit here if this is my main carry.
Yeah, I would agree. You never want the Diana to like land like 4 hexes away from like your main carry. So you want to like minimize the chances of that as possible. So if you're doing main carry right corner, then that spot is risky.
Okay. Oh, maybe I did put the items just on. Okay. I should have kept them on Wukong.
Yeah, just keep on Wukong. Just Siobhan is a fighter, so she doesn't gain mana from taking damage. You don't want her to get hit.
What's your like, assuming that you know that your opponent is capable of doing anti Diana, like what's your like swapping logic? How do you keep
I
them
think cubby
on
is
their
probably the
toes?
safest, honestly.
Cubby.
Yeah.
So then you fake here and then move to Cubby, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. And you could just put
Okay, and if you're the Diana player and they go Cubby, then middle is optimal for the Diana player.
Um well I would do the anti one on the other side, but it's harder to do.
What's the anti one on that side?
Um I think the easiest way for me to find it is from my own Reddit post.
Oh,
I can
okay.
just link that to you real fast.
Yeah.
It's with a collie, but it's the same concept. It's the bottom screenshot. But yeah, I mean, this was, of course, in the TFT coaching video, but I think this is just faster to find.
What?
Yeah, so the Senna is there to force the Akali to walk right. Basically, you just want your Diana to start her cast 4 hexes away from your target, right? So you want her to start her cast from that spot right there.
Oh. Okay. This spot. Although I guess that's really hard for
No, on
them
your
to
side. Oh,
if
yeah, from their side, yeah,
if I'm
exactly.
putting in Cubby, yeah, because then
Yeah, exactly.
they'd have to swap their whole front line. Okay, so that's why Cubby is safe here.
Yeah. Also, like, I just find in general, most people don't do this other one. It's a little harder to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder to do, and I just find in general people don't do it as much.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, they have to swap a lot of units to do either one in a sense. And we kind of talked about last second swaps. In general, I always assume you can move like if they have to move 3 units, you should be able to react by moving one. If they're moving 1 unit, you can't react to it. That's like generally because like in the first Void game versus Yunara, like Rochelle versus Yunara, they can last second move Yunara and you can't react. But if they have to move like 3 or more units, then you should be able to move one. Um, and I usually just do this by hover scouting, where like you just hold your important unit with your mouse, and then look at your opponent's board, and then I think like last second you just like press like spacebar or whatever your hotkey to return to your board is, and then drop it.
Okay. Um, okay. And then against this, assuming I'm playing against this Diana player here, and if I did do the Cubby, okay, so the other thing is Cubby is like seems super dangerous against this Renekton too. No? And I
Yeah,
guess this side is
like
also
I
dangerous.
agree. Like I like this side better because I mean I generally do what you're doing now because like you said there's weaknesses of the other thing and Renekton is very real. I did not realize this guy had Renekton too with a TG.
Okay.
It's also just closer to like stuff in general, right? Like if they have like a Fiddlesticks too. That would be another reason to not do Cubby.
Yeah. Um, okay, so again, I should not have this RE here. I should either have it here or like somewhere over here. If you could choose perfect positioning against this guy, like how would you do it?
Um, like you're assuming he's positioned exactly like this?
Yeah.
I guess. So Renekton dashes to the furthest enemy 2 hexes away. I guess you'll want to bait the Renekton into dashing left. And then you would want the Diana to target a ranged unit first. Or, sorry, a melee unit first. I mean, again, this is like kind of impractical, right? But like getting Diana to target a melee unit first shouldn't be that hard. You just if you just have your front line on the right side and you don't have anything like 4 hexes away, then that should
Okay.
basically always happen.
So it'd be like move all my backline up one, or move them out of range here.
Yeah, kind of one or the other. I mean that would be ideal, but I also think like it doesn't matter that much if Diana goes on like Ari first, which is like much more realistic, right?
Yeah.
Even if you have Ari in the corner and your range or your melee units are on the right side, it'd be like a 50-50, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you want your. Yeah, I'm a little scared of this. Yeah, exactly what happens here, where the Renekton gets too close to your carry. It seemed like it's kind of working out. I think this is just generally going to be a really hard matchup to win, honestly.
Yeah.
On second thoughts, with this exact board, I feel like your Lucian has to kill Diana in its first cast, or you're not going to win.
Okay. So then
So
how
how
would
do you do
you
that is
address
pretty
that?
complicated. I guess Set could also kill Diana, but I think it's like pretty complicated. Like basically the way I look at this fight, like he has a lot of damage, right? Not just Senna Renekton or Diana Renekton, but he also has like Senna 2, Azir 2. Um, the way I look at this fight is like you're probably getting one Lucian cast and one Set cast.
Yeah.
One of these two things is your only chance to kill Diana.
Okay. Makes sense.
How do you get it to hit the Diana? No, that's like pretty tricky. I'm not sure
Okay.
because they
Then
both happen pretty late into the fight.
then it seems like maybe Senna and Cubby and try to bait the Diana here. Like
I'm not sure.
the only way Senna's gonna target Diana is like it has to
Like
be in
being somewhat on the
range.
same side, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe being like somewhat clumped. Like he doesn't have that much things that punish clump. Like he has Senna and Surfing Wave, but like if you're clump, then maybe your Shyvana and then your set can do more damage.
Okay. Or
It's definitely very tricky, but I think that'd probably be ideal.
or if the Diana jumps like over here first, if like I move all the tanks over to this side, but then Set's
It's
not
just
gonna
hard to
get
say because
targeted first.
your set and your Senna cast so late into the fight that it's just like it's to me it's almost completely unpredictable where the Diana is going to be when they cast.
Yeah. Okay.
Because yeah,
This is just like a low odds matchup.
yeah, I feel like either your set has to one shot Diana or your first Lucian cast. I think you're gonna get one cast from set and one cast from Lucian, and those are the only two ways you can kill the Diana. So actually, can we just watch this fight one more time?
Actually, Meta TFT has 62% chance for me here.
I mean, those are not super accurate, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's also you don't have any combat augments. I can't really tell, but Meta TFT doesn't take those into account. Because yeah, like the main thing I want to see is when you're set cast. So your set cast at like 20 seconds, which
Also, this Renekton jumped onto my Lucian and dealt a bunch of damage.
yeah, I mean, I think that doesn't matter because like from this point on, even if your Lucian's full health, you just like can't really kill this Diana. I think
Yeah.
because you're not
And
getting a second Lucian cast. Your first one happens at like 20 seconds.
then also this after Set cleared out here, this Deer walked up and finished off the two. Probably should have more frontline on the other side.
Yeah, I guess also with Shyvana like not being a tank, right now your closest tank is the Swain, which is kind of far. She
Yeah.
also moves, which is like relevant. I just think the main thing is like you're getting one Lucian cast and one set cast. You're
Right.
never getting two Lucian casts in this matchup. Or like in this exact board state, basically.
Mhm. We would you ever solo frontline Set in this matchup?
Um, I don't think there's that much point. Like he went and did setups pretty fast. I think like maybe just clumping your entire board like maybe makes sense.
On one side?
And then in that case you could solo frontline set, yeah. just like everything in like a tightly packed ball in the corner, for example, and then your set like hits the entire board, and then maybe your illusion kills the
Oh,
Diana also. I don't
and
know.
in that case, wait, is this like assassin positioning where if I clump, then Diana can't jump to top corner?
Um, I feel like I should know this, but I don't actually know what happens. I've seen people do this with Azir soldiers, where they like protect your Senna with Azir soldiers, but I'm not sure exactly what happens.
Like I've always used Azir soldiers to just like as bait you, but like I guess I haven't really because olden days assassin you could just do this and then the enemy assassin would like jump here, right?
Yeah, I feel like this doesn't work, but I'm not sure. Like the Diana will still hit the Azir, like it won't be able to auto attack the Azir, but it'll still have
Oh, it
Moonlight.
it still
That's
ults the thing but can't auto.
Yeah, that would be what I think would happen, but I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I should know this, but I don't.
Okay, that
But
makes
you could just like set a knot in like the true corner, for example.
okay. So if you're saying you would clump, you're just like clumping everything. It's
Yeah,
like
and
something
like
like this, and then solo frontline the set.
yeah, like as long as your Senna isn't first hit by the Diana, I think it's fine. And obviously, like you have a few different spots you can mix it up.
Right. And then
But
you're
something
just
like this,
hoping
maybe.
the Diana jumps here or something like here, and then you pull Diana down.
Yeah, you're also kind of hoping your set like hits his entire board. But it's I don't know. It's like this is like a really specific situation, I think.
Yeah. Okay. And good to have it thought through.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. This is more like theoretical and like learning for just general positioning fundamentals. I feel like I think like this exact situation where your opponent's board is so unusual. First of all, like Diana Renekton. I mean, I guess it's not that unusual on this patch, but
Yeah. Well, now I
like
have
as a general
yeah, this next
fundamental positioning, it's weird.
game is inverted. I have the Renekton now and Diana.
Yeah,
Um
but like here, your Renekton's like not a big
yeah,
part of your
not
damage.
very good. I always struggle in these situations to figure out where to put these sand soldiers. I just second row them.
I think this is fine. I think I guess I haven't seen your matchups, but I would think the most important thing is like don't let your important units get hit by Swain. I think
And
tanking Shyvana is okay here since you don't have another upgraded like a 2-star 4 cost tank.
yeah, by default, how do you want Diana and Renekton to synergize together? I assume you want Diana and your main tank same side. Tank takes aggro first, and then Renekton maybe on a maybe it's tank on second from left or right, and then Renekton on far right or left, and then Diana third.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that you have a tank next to like you never want your Renekton or Diana or Fiddle even like targeted first. But in this setup, like your tanks are Nico and Swain only. So if anyone has any carries in the middle, which is like not that unusual for someone to just have like a Kindred 2 there. Um or even like a Rise or a Lysandra is like not that unusual.
Mhm.
They're not gonna get taunted off of.
Right.
So I think like maybe Nico where Renekton is, Renekton one to the left, and then like Fiddle behind that, for example. Because
Nico, where?
where Renekton is potentially.
Oh, okay.
I guess you could also do Nico where Fiddle is. That also technically like taunts everything. I think. Basically, you just want to make sure your carries are next to a tank, within 1 hex of a tank. Yeah, because right now, like, it's not that uncommon for someone to just have like a 3-item Lysandra 2 in front of your Renekton.
Right.
Obviously, there's only one person in your rotation. We haven't seen their board yet, but
And then as a general principle, I think we talked about this in one of our your early sessions on positioning. Do you still like Swain second from left or right, same side enemy carry?
I think as a default, I like middle just because he can reach both corners if your opponent's not positioning around it. Um, Ideally, you would be like same side, but I mean this can reach both corners, so
Okay. It's default swing middle.
it's fairly similar to Jarvan from last set.
Okay, so no, now that we know this is who I'm playing against,
Yeah.
how does that
So
affect the positioning?
yeah, so I'm most worried about Kai'Sa's single target. And he also has Swain and Fiddle. So to me, I want to use these Sand Soldiers. Like I want Seraphine and Azir same side because I want to focus your damage. Because Seraphine does have the wave, which I think the wave is very noticeable, but like Seraphine is mostly a single target damage unit. And so is Azir. So having them opposite sides, I think, is like really weak. You almost always want both of these same side.
Okay.
And then you want Fiddle and Swain to not ult them. So you could put like the Sand Soldiers on the other side, or just like shift your front line over to that side.
Okay. So if I have, let's say I want Azir and Seraphine on this side, then the Sand Soldiers in B1, B2, would that be enough to bait them?
Basically, I would shift your front line over so that like your frontmost tank is where the Diana is. Um, if you want to do Diana specifically in that spot, um, I guess it's like fine if you have like one tank to the right of that. But basically, like the more units that are shifted to the left, let's just say yeah, you have your carries on the right in this example. You could do the same thing on the other side. But like the more units you have shifted to the other side, like the more likely it'll be to ult the other way.
So then would you be willing to put the Fiddle second row? Because usually you want Fiddle first row so it can jump to hit backline, right?
Yeah, I don't think it matters that much because Fiddle. Well, I guess like against your opponent's board, it's not that likely to jump to backline regardless.
Okay.
But I also generally just put Fiddle like I think like second row is fine. Yeah.
Okay, because if I put melee second row, they probably just walk up and then it kind of defeats the
Yeah.
purpose, right?
I mean Fiddle. I think Fiddle is kind of similar to Swain, where for the most part having him somewhere near the middle, like he's usually not going to get to your opponent's corner unit. Almost no. I guess like the opposite. I guess like Fiddle is pretty rarely going to get to your opponent's corner unit, like regardless. So I think like somewhere in the middle is fine. I guess like with the way your opponent's positioned, he's never gonna hit their corner unit regardless.
Okay. So just in general, if I'm playing against either Swain or Fiddle, I should be keeping this principle in mind of like whoever my backline carry is, isolate them from the rest of
Yeah,
my
I
team.
think if one of your backline carries was like a Senna, I think it doesn't matter too much because their single target comes in so late into the fight. Or if one of your backline carries was like a Xerath, it like doesn't matter at all. But in this case, like both of your backliners are primarily single target, so I think it's like pretty important that they focus the same target.
Okay.
And yeah, I think the like Diana is important, but other than that, I think the most important unit to think about when positioning is Swain, and you should not let Swain hit like either of your backline carries if possible. I mean, in this spot, if you did have your carry separated, if you just put both your Sand Soldiers in the middle, like Swain almost always goes middle.
Let's see. Oh, this is the one that we showed you. Um,
Yeah, your set is too close here.
Rosif was thinking that it messed up because the Fiddle jumped to the middle.
Wait, can you play the clip again?
Right
Well,
here.
it's just that T Hex walks into your row, right? Like I've seen this exact. First of all, the set is too close. I think.
The set is too close. Didn't your screenshot have like these three frontline spots taken?
I think the set is too close because the Wukong is 3 hexes away from Braum, and set is less than 3, right? Like it's 3, but not in a straight line.
Wait, so you can't even have a unit on Ace A5?
I'm pretty sure you cannot. If it's not a tank, I don't know if Wukong always taunts because it seemed like the
Oh,
Braum. Because I will say, like, if you have a tank there, Braum walks that way. I want to say it should be 100% because it's closer, right? Like Wukong's 3 hexes exactly, and set is less than 3. But I think because Wukong is a tank, he taunts and set isn't a tank. What I would say is that like this T hex ends up in your front line. I've seen this positioning like maybe 25 times. I have never seen the T hex end up in your front line. Like because I mean it should just walk one step and then it's in range to hit the Wukong, right? Like why is it walking into 1 hex range? I've never seen this before.
yeah.
I've only seen this. I mean it's kind of like I said in TFT positioning. I always think there's like a like a 1% chance for something weird to happen, no matter what you do.
Okay.
I mean, like sometimes I've seen like your Shen walk up and start auto attacking the enemy T Hex 1 star, right? Like it just walks through a bunch of units, but it's really rare. Like
Yeah.
it happens very, very rarely. I think that's basically what's happening here. Like I said, I've seen this position like 25 times, and I haven't only seen the T Hex walk up into the first row this one time.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I played against this guy two previous times and it did not do that. So like the previous two times he shot down this way, which was fine.
Yeah.
Um, if normally would you put the Taric where set is?
Um, if this is the only guy in rotation, which looks like it is, I would put him where the Wukong is. I think he can actually like tank 2 entire ults by himself.
Okay.
But yeah, the set is too close because I think if you have the Taric where the set is, the Braum attacks him, and then the Wukong walks up to T Hex, and your entire team gets cleaved.
Okay. So it's
Because the
okay
whole,
if I just put a fighter here, right? Like if this was Fiddle, it'd be fine too.
I'm not sure is the thing. Um, base like the only time I've ever seen that would be this exact moment right now. It seems that maybe because Wukong's a tank, Braum attacks him, even though Braum is a little closer to set. But I'm not sure. I'd probably have to see it like maybe 3 or 4 more times and be like fairly confident. If I saw it like 3 more times, then it never walked over to set.
All right, so this is the next one. Assume same idea. I want Rift Herald to take primary damage in the beginning. I should probably be focus firing the Belveth and the Kaisa together.
Yeah, I'm not that worried about Belveth. I just think it's like not that important of a unit, especially with like no mod. These items like Nashor's is basically like a worse Shojin, and BT is basically like a tank item. I just don't think like the Belveth is doing a significant amount of damage.
Okay,
Uh, I think
so
the most important thing is don't get your Kaisa hit by Swain. That's
uh
like specific unit wise.
okay, so
I guess the
ideally
most
it's
important thing.
Rift Herald here and move everyone else over, move Alzahar away from so
Yeah, I would say the most important thing is Rift Herald gets targeted before Baron, and this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. If they have their carry left side, it's actually quite bad for you because a lot of times your Baron might get targeted before Rift Herald. Could happen.
okay, so
But
maybe
this is
by
just hard to do, right? Because it's like 50-50.
yeah. Well, so I could solo frontline the Rift Herald. Um
Since you have Stoneplate here, yeah, you could.
I could also I think it seems like for the Swain Fiddle thing, by default, just move the Malzahar next to here. Although, would would I want the Kog'Maw closer? Because Cog does like a little shred too, right? Because I have no shred here.
Um, I think that can help if you can get away with it, but it's not worth risking it. I think in general, just having your front line shifted away from your carry, so having Kaisa where Kog'Maw is like the best way to do it. You just generally want your best unit to not be in your largest clump, because the thing is, even if you move Malzahar away, like your largest clump is still on your left side.
And
The
then
way Socks likes to describe it is like your board should look like a Z in most matchups. I mean, Socks doesn't play the game anymore, but I think he's like one of the best like fundamental positioning players, which of course hasn't changed.
okay. Then when you're thinking about the most important thing, specifically Rift Herald being targeted before Baron, you're just picking up Rift Herald and like scouting. I guess in this case, I could be playing against either opponent, so I'm just probably picking the opponent that I'm uh more likely to be able to lose against. And then just dropping it in front of their carry.
Yeah. I don't know if Marcel P has changed his mind about this, but I'm like I learned this from Marcel,
Mhm.
but I just really like putting Baron in A7 like close to 100% of the time, and then Rift Herald in A6. Because that way, no matter what side your opponent is on, it usually gets targeted before Baron. Yeah, Rift Herald A6,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
a
Baron in the
six
corner.
has the highest.
Yeah, and then Baron in the corner.
Let's see,
A7, yeah.
yeah,
That
74.
yeah. A7.
Yeah, here, right?
Yeah.
As the
And
stats
then
here look so good. 71.
um
And it's
why the
actually high
stats there look good?
frequency.
I mean it's like 0.6% better win rate. I wouldn't read too much into that.
Although it has the highest
But,
frequency.
I mean by 2%, which I also don't feel like
Huh.
like it's not like it's if like that if A3 had like 70% win rate and then A7 had like 60% win rate, I think it might be worth investigating. But like if it's like 0.6% with like 2% more frequency, I think it's like not really. I'm not like that worried about it.
The downside of doing this, or what is that? This is if the enemy carry is like on the opposite side and like we
Yeah,
wipe this and then this
yeah,
jumps somewhere in the middle and then Rift is still slowly walking up behind and
yeah.
whatever enemy carry wiped this side out and then Baron's exposed, right?
Yes, that can happen. There's kind of like no perfect like one size fits all positioning, but generally, I think this usually does not get your Baron targeted before your Rift Herald. Obviously, like we've been kind of talking about with these other boards, is like if we know exactly where our opponent's going to be, we can do something better.
Right.
But I think that as a default, this is pretty good. Oh, I would also say with this A3 positioning, right? Looking better than A7 is if you look at Rift Herald's frequency. Like Rift Herald's highest win rate is in A7, right? But if you look at the frequency, Rift Herald is usually put in the middle. So I would guess that a lot of the Baron win rate is in A7 is dragged down by people putting Baron A7 and Rift Herald in the middle, which is just really bad if your opponent's carry is on the right side.
Right.
But I would imagine there's like a decent amount of players doing it. If you look at the frequencies of both, right?
Yeah, they're both pretty low. Actually, this is pretty this is second highest in front row.
Yeah. So I'm saying like Baron in A7 and then Rift Herald front middle, like or like front center. There's probably like a decent amount of players contributing to the data doing this
Right.
that makes A7 look worse than A3. That's my guess. But I mean, this is really bad because if your opponent's right side, they're just gonna kill like your Cho'Gath and then kill your Baron.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what the matchup is.
Yeah, both of your opponents have Swain, it seems like. So I'm very concerned about Swain.
Right. So Malzahar left side would be better against Swain. I
Yeah,
mean, right
kind
now
of the same
largest
thing with
clump
this.
is here.
Yeah, kind of the same thing with this Diana positioning. Like, let's say Diana, basically, like if Diana walks to the I guess like most of the time your Diana's gonna ult your front line. Um, in this exact setup, Diana should pretty much always ult your front line. But imagine their left side was really weak with like a sand soldier or something, and then like your frontline unit moves, and then there's Diana ults Malzahar. If it lands to the left of Malzahar, then Kai'Sa is exactly 4 hexes away.
Yeah, I should move this Malzahar like D2 or something.
Yeah.
Also, he has 2 Diana.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. Double Diana.
Okay.
Is that good? I feel like that has the same problems as Leona plus Diana.
I've done it once or twice before. It's good if you
So,
jump onto the main carry first,
yeah,
because then both of them
that's
are
true.
ulting. But yeah, if
Yeah,
you're
that's true.
missing the main carry, then it slows them down. Um,
Yeah.
it seems like this setup though is pretty good. Like I dodged the Tarek. Hopefully
Yeah,
Diana's go left. Like this seems pretty okay.
I think it's pretty important to have Wukong next to Baron because once again, like because Rift Herald is not, or sorry, because Rek'Sai is not a tank, the
Oh
Seraphine
yeah.
2 hits Baron first. But if you have Wukong, it hits Wukong first. I think that's like very important. That this is a very same concept. I think it's just very, very important to have tanks within 1 hex of your melee carries.
I did not see that, especially a 1-star Rek'Sai.
Yeah, I mean it's just not going to taunt at all. So even if this was like a 3-star Rek'Sai with Warmogs, it doesn't matter because your Baron gets hit first.
What happened? Oh wait, that's not even the matchup I was in against this guy.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, but this is even
But
worse because it's a kindred taking down my
yeah, exactly. So it
and
starts immediately on Baron.
and PK too.
Yeah, that's actually what I was saying in the other matchup where the guy had the Renekton Diana, where like it didn't matter in that matchup because he didn't have anything in the middle, but it's not uncommon at all for people to have like strong single target carries in the middle.
Hmm.
I would say especially this misfortune board. A lot oftentimes it's like misfortune in one corner, like Sen in one corner, Kindred somewhere near the middle. Yunara frequently is the same. Like Yunara's in the corner, and then Lissandra and Ryze are somewhere in the middle.
So
It's
would
like very
this
common.
be a spot where maybe I should have put Rift Herald second row? Or sorry, Baron second row here middle, Rift Herald in A4, and then Wukong over here because they don't really have melee that can wrap. I don't think the Diana player had a Renekton, and this guy. Well, I guess this if this TK was over here, the Wukong could get move me over, right?
Yeah, so, wait, so you're saying Rift Herald and where? Sorry, say again?
Let's say B5 or
Oh, Baron in the second row middle? Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
and then Rift Herald middle. Because
Yeah.
against this guy, Rift Herald here, like my Baron's dead.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
You could see like just obviously I know you're positioning against Diana, but just for demonstration, right? Like if your Baron starts A7 here and your Rift Herald's A6, it's like probably your Baron is usually gonna like your Rift Herald is generally gonna tank for your Baron.
okay, so against
But I
this,
think what you said against both players is better because that way obviously it's vulnerable to Diana.
right? What if he has TK right here, his A1, and like Kindred here? Like, how does that work? TK is gonna eat
Um,
this, and then Kindred will start focusing down the Baron.
um, yeah, I mean TK is definitely a weird unit, right? Where he just immediately removes your main tank. I think TK is like a very. I don't think there's anything else like him in the set. I guess maybe technically Loris. I mean, Set can do it, but Set isn't going to do it until late into the fight. But yeah, TK is like a very unique unit where he removes your main tank. So ideally, you want him to start on like a filler unit.
Okay, so
Um,
key idea
so
against TK is keep main tank away from.
yeah,
Okay, but then in that case, I don't want Rift Herald. If I knew for sure TK was in the middle, I would not want Rift Herald here in the middle.
Yeah. Again, like you're positioning for two different matchups, right? But like if
Yeah,
you knew for sure TK was in the middle, then maybe like Rift Herald to the right of Baron.
and then Baron back one, then Wukong here.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine. I think it's fine if your Wukong gets eaten.
Okay,
Because if you have like two squishy of a unit, like let's say you try to get like Rek'Sai get eaten, right? Like it's probably just gonna die before the TK cast.
yeah. So now knowing that I had a 50-50 between both these players, how would you have positioned?
Uh,
I guess Wukong in A4 and then Baron second row. Keep Rift Herald
I
here.
mean, you could also like I've seen you do like this Kaisabate, like you mentioned with the Sand Soldiers. You could just do like the default, like what I said I like to use that I learned from Marcel P as a default Baron positioning. Baron A7, Rift B A6. And then just do like Cog in the corner and Kaisa next to Cog.
Okay, just
Obviously
Kaisa.
that gets countered by middle Diana, but you
Yeah.
know, just like not that many people use middle Diana. I mean, it's becoming more and more common now. It's like Diana's being played every single game. Most people know anti Diana and stuff like that.
Okay. So just to confirm, Rift Herald A6, Baron A7, Bait Cog over here, and then Kaisa over here.
Yeah, I think that'd be decent. I will say like this, yeah, I mean these players are both really strong.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you would win other regardless, but I mean you're pretty strong too, Baron too.
Yeah. Okay.
We're looking at the match percentage. I feel like the win rate percentage is
You don't
so
trust
not
these?
useful. I love meta TFT, but I feel like this is
Okay,
borderline
17%
completely
chance.
useless.
Okay. All right. This one.
Yeah, this one's a little different than what I was talking about before because you also have a Volibear. So I might just do like a similar thing to what I was saying, except Volibear where the Baron is, and then since the Baron's 2 hex, um, yeah, you could also do Rafel more towards the middle. Since we know we're fighting TK, we want Rafel to not get eaten by TK. This guy also has Skarner. We want to make sure Volibear and definitely Kaisa like don't get Skarnered if possible. I actually noticed you had a fight earlier where Kaisa got Skarnered, um, but
Okay.
that's also like pretty important.
So ideally, I'm clumping right, Kaisa bottom left, like um Baron A1, Rift A2.
That seems decent. I definitely want your Volibear to like get into the action, but maybe just Volibear like behind Baron and like it walks up and like starts hitting Tahm is fine too.
Or
Like
Volibear
everything you said.
A1, Rift Herald A2, Baron B1.
Yeah, except with a Volibear. Well, if he didn't have Edgenite, I would say I would do that. But the problem is like the Edgenite is going to make your Volibear walk around.
Won't he just be
But if he didn't
stuck?
have Edgenite,
Because if
yeah,
the
like that.
Baron doesn't move, then our volley is just stuck here.
Yeah. Well, the volley will just walk and attack. I'm thinking like to me, I'm thinking you have a gap to the right of your Rift Herald, like a 1 unit gap. So the Tahm Kench eats whatever's to the right, who's let's say like your Wukong, or I guess you don't have a Wukong here. But your Volibear just walks into that gap. He doesn't have
Okay.
to start all the way on the left.
Okay, that makes sense. And then same idea. I want to make sure the clump is on away from my Kaisa.
Yeah, you
Omen.
want like Fiddle and Shyvana to like all over there, and like even one star Swain, but like ideally you, yeah, I think like I would say as a general rule of thumb, um, obviously like kind of repeating a lot of the same things, but they're like the most important things is yeah, tank within 1 hex of melee carry. Make sure Swain does not ult your Kaisa ever, and then make sure your main tank does not or like make sure your main tank dies before your main melee carry.
Right. The hard part
Yeah,
about isolating my main carry away from Swain is that then it becomes an easy Skarner target, right?
that is actually true. Yeah, yeah.
And
I think like
Skarner is
positioning is
super
just
easy to just move one unit compared to you moving your whole clump.
yeah. I think yeah, especially like because a lot of the fights we're looking at have like they have like I mean Tom Kench is one of the most unique units. Period. But then like Diana as well. So I think when you're looking at all these different units, it's pretty tricky. But yeah, not getting your carry stunned by Skarner is like even more important than Swaying because he like displaces her. But yeah, I would probably just do like I think if you do kind of like the default, yeah, this kind of like default stuff with like Malzahar in the back to the right of Cog, I think it's like pretty likely Swain is gonna like prioritize like that right side.
Okay. And from what we were saying, move Mal's right, move Cog right, move Cho one to the right, and then have Oliver start like in B1
And like
to
walk up,
walk up
yeah,
and
something like
attack
that.
here. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I
was
think this
introduced.
fight, positioning wise, like was fine. I think your opponent's like much stronger, but like positioning wise, I don't think like anything like that bad happened. I think the Volibear is dying like slightly too early, but it's not like the end of the world. There's just not a lot of ways to prevent that from happening, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so this we were saying Swain your default middle.
Yeah, because he can reach both corners if your opponent's not paying attention.
If you have Swain in middle, do you have a priority on where to put Fiddle by default?
I think as long as Fiddle, like, again, I think as long as Fiddle is next to a tank, I think it's fine. So maybe where Skarner or Ambessa is decent.
Okay, so just ideally you prefer Fiddle same side enemy carry, I assume?
Yeah, I actually think like the only way to actually like get him to ult into the corner, I think, is to start him on the edge.
Oh, I see.
I'm not like 100% sure. Fiddle is definitely a little bit one of the more unpredictable units, but yeah, I think you need to start him on the edge.
This side looks, it seems like highest is just middle.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think like like when you're saying like highest, like compared to the Baron one, I think we're looking like so looking at this fiddle one, the Baron one was a 0.6 difference. This
Mhm.
fiddle one is a 0.2% difference. I feel like these are you shouldn't say like one is better than the other. Uh, like to me, these are the same. Like this is not saying like middle is better than far right.
Yeah, and this is like highest frequency a lot. But
Yeah,
then
it's
it can't get to
uh,
backline for me, right?
like the middle is only like a 2% sample size. Well, fiddle almost never ults the backline. I mean, right?
Oh, I
Like
see.
it's pretty rare. I think it most happens, frequently happens against like Tryndamere players who like are clumping around their tower, for example.
Mhm.
But it's just like very rare that a fiddle is gonna hit like a backline unit in the first cast.
Okay, so you're fine with Fiddle either here, just Fiddle anywhere really, and then Swain is the key one in the middle.
Yeah, like if you look at the highest frequency one, right, it's 0.5% less win rate than the front middle.
Yeah.
But I feel like 0.5% you can maybe explain by like so many like I mean the middle is only a 2% play rate. I don't even know like what the total sample size for this is, right?
Yeah. Okay. So Swain middle, middle like anywhere. Skarner, I want to put same side there, carry on outside.
Ideally, yeah.
And
Skarner has to be
then
in front of your kindred, very important. with like the utility items.
Do I want to be focus firing with Kindred and Senna? I feel like I usually just default like opposite,
I
but
think Senna doesn't matter that much because her cast comes like so late. A lot of Senna's value is in just like the AoE effect, which hits like the entire board.
okay. All
I think
right.
if you
So,
had Senna 2, then yeah, I would want to focus fire them. But with Senna 1, I think it like doesn't matter too much.
okay. So as general principles, that's like the main thing. I guess we can see who we're actually facing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I should be doing the anti-T hex. Well, this game occurred before. I
Yeah,
guess you
yeah.
had
But Skarner in front of T-Hex is important, so if you did
yeah.
that, that's already like good.
Skarner in front of TX, and I should make sure that my backline is not behind the Skarner. Right?
Well, see, because your opponent has their Taric there, you don't need to anti-T-Hex, right? Because if you have your Skarner in front of T-Hex and you have nothing behind it, T-Hex always ults in a straight line down. Like he has no choice.
Uh,
The whole reason for anti-T-Hex is because most people are not putting a unit where that Taric is.
and then
But
Skarner
if you
walks up here, and then that gives T hex the diagonal.
well, you don't even have to. Oh
If
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Tark was not
yeah,
there.
yeah. Because T-Hex doesn't walk because it's a 2-hex range unit, and then
Right.
Skarner walks there. Yeah,
So as the T
but
hex
because
player, you should never put units here because you want them to the enemy tank to walk up so you could get the diagonal.
as a default, yeah. Because like the way he's positioned, if you have Skarner A1, T-Hex always ults in a straight line down, and all your other units to the right. If you have like a unit to the right of Skarner, it'll be like angled a little bit to the right, of course.
Okay, so knowing that if he does not move, I should make sure I have none of my carries down here.
Yeah, Skarner should be A1 for sure, like no matter what, and then nothing should be behind it. Like nothing important should be behind it because it's probably going to ult straight down. Yeah, so I think this is good, except your Senna's going to die, which is
Yeah.
like okay because it's a 1-star Senna, but it also has 3 items while he actually swapped. That's crazy. Yeah, you can't react to I guess like wait, how many units did he swap? It's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
I guess he swapped 2. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think like you did the right thing. It just I think you're gonna win anyway, right? Uh, but yeah, I think you did the right thing. Or I guess maybe these are all games you lost.
Yeah, barely lost.
Yeah, if he doesn't swap his T-Hex right, it's gonna ult basically pretty much straight down. It'll be slightly angled because it can probably also hit like Shyvana and like maybe Fiddle.
Okay, so in this case, I would you be hovering until I think I went back to my board at like 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds. So I should be
Oh,
waiting later, right?
you should do it like as late as you possibly can do it, right? Yeah.
So this is
Yeah,
two
let me watch this
seconds,
again.
1 second. Okay, I should wait until the bar is like even thinner here.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you just do it like as late as possible.
But if I do that, then I can't
Like that
swap
move
my
Kindred.
backline. So then maybe I should just move my backline to the middle.
I think that's pretty reasonable, yeah. I will say another like you were talking about like kind of baiting your opponent. Like another clue for your opponent is he has like his tank and his Senna on that side. A clue that like he might swap.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I would just say like you have like a little more time here.
I wouldn't have more time if I need to also move my backline though, right? So
But yeah, I think leaving Kindred in the middle is fine.
okay. Because kids are just gonna jump around anyway, right? So I guess the
Yeah, choose
downside
the
of not having it is that
your even
um
shroud. Yeah,
yeah, my even shroud and my sunfire are gonna be here. So if I had infinite removers, ideally I would swap the sunfire even shroud over to Taric.
yeah, I guess so. You could also like wait until the fight starts and then apply like the utility
Oh
items.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay, so
but I think it
gonna
just
be
depends on the matchup. Like even if your Kindred is nowhere near your Sunfire Even Shroud, if you have your Skarner in front of T Hex, you're just gonna win. It's not even gonna be a little bit close. Like you're actually gonna like 9-0 him, even if your Kindred is left and your Skarner is on the right, and your Kindred in center. Like if you use this exact positioning, but your Senna's on the left and your Skarner's on the right, your even shroud and sunfires like are nowhere to be found, you're gonna like 9-0 this fight because his T-Hex is gonna ult in a straight line down on your Skarner probably like twice in a row.
So just put Kindred in middle and then swap Garner literally. That's- Sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's
Um,
like pretty safe.
all right. So I think the
But
big
yeah,
idea is always knowing what is the most important thing. Like in this case, in that matchup with T Hex, it's Garner positioning. In the case of Yanara, it's like making sure my main tank gets hit first. Always making sure I have tanks within 1 hex. Um,
I think like
yeah.
Swain is another big one. A lot of your
Yep.
positionings like look vulnerable to Swain in your rotation.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Hopefully this will help me get a few more like one placement advantages in the late game.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think this matchup in particular, if you have Skarner far right, yeah, it's actually like a 9-0.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
cut your
Like
opponent's damage
completely.
by like probably entire board damage by like 50%.
Yeah. I've also seen like T Hex get thrown by Skarner like over to the middle, and then T Hex is like shooting a diagonal off the board this way.
Yeah, because he's targeting Skarner, and then yeah, yeah. I mean, I think like you've probably done the anti TX positioning enough to like see what it looks like. Yeah,
Yeah. And in that case, I've actually even had Kindred here, like my main carry here, and T Hex gets. I guess it depends if I have mana items on the Skarner, but
yeah.
like
Like if it gets pulled to the right and it has to target the Skarner, right? It
yeah.
can't hit both.
Although I think TX usually casts first. Actually, let's see.
Yeah, I mean TX has 12 mana regen from eating
Yeah.
Kate 3. I mean this guy also has QSS.
Okay, yeah. TX
Yeah.
casts first. So if I had like Gunblade or something, then if I can soak up one ult and then partner casts to displace the T Hex, then that might be okay as well if it's same side.
I'm a little bit scared. I think even with Gunblade, TX 2 can kill your carry in first cast.
Okay. Because if I had defaulted Kindred in the middle here, like Kindred would be dead.
Um, yeah, I guess you need nothing next to. Wait, can we see the start of this fight? So T Hex. Oh yeah, I guess you need nothing where Ambessa is. Wait, actually that doesn't make sense.
Like let's say I
Yeah,
I
I guess
moved
this doesn't
Kindred
work.
here and then Skarner to the right here.
Yeah,
It
this
would
doesn't
still
work. Yeah,
okay. So then
because
how
T
would
Hex can still hit middle. But I guess like if you had Kindred like to the one to the left of Draven, I feel like T Hex can't hit it. But maybe it can. I'm not 100% sure.
TX also does reduce damage per unit it goes through, right?
Yeah, it's still a lot though. I think it could still one shot like potentially like a 2-star backliner with Gunblade, like 2-star T Hex.
Okay, so if Kindred, you're saying D3 is safe here?
I think it has to be safe. I mean, I'm not like 100% sure, but like just looking at this animation, I don't feel like the T Hex can turn. Because if you can see this, like the T Hex is like barely clipping the Swain on the right side and
Right.
barely clipping the Draven on the left side. I don't think it can hit like more than that.
Okay.
But then like you have the same problem if they have T Hex on the left side, right?
Yeah.
Because then it could do the same angle. So I guess you always have to move your Kindred away. Hmm. Yeah, so I
Well,
guess you always have to move.
what about Kindred B4?
I don't really like that in general. I mean, first of all, like web your carry is not a kindred. But maybe it could be fine. I don't know. I don't really like that in general. Because what if they just put their T Hex somewhere like more unpredictable?
Yeah. Okay, so I should just stick with what I was doing and hope that most people's APM's not as fast as this guy.
I think what you did is like I think what you did is fine. It's just like he pulled off like a pretty unexpected swap. I will say the main takeaway I would say is like you can look at where his Senna 2 with 3 items and his tank are on the right side. So like obviously it's not always, but like he kind of telegraphs it when he moves his Braum, actually. Because like just
Oh yeah,
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 you saw him move his Braum to the right.
yeah.
Like I don't think like that many people are gonna fake swap their Braum to the right in that spot. And then like obviously he could, but I just don't think like anyone does that, you know?
Okay. Okay. And so in that situation, if I knew he's going to put there, I just keep Kindred here and put Skarner here. And I'm fine with sacking Senna.
I mean ideally neither of them get hit, but yeah. If your Senna does die, I think you still win the fight as long as your Kindred lives.
Okay. Sounds good. Appreciate the late game lessons. Hopefully this comes in handy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean some of these units are pretty weird. But yeah, I think I would say like overall the recurring thing, I think like seeing your fighters like not next to any tanks. I saw in like several games.
Okay. I will make sure I pay attention to that.
Yeah, I think the most important one was that one where like the Kindred 2 just started on your Baron 2.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Have a good night then. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Good night. See ya.